Hey guys, TePeMHaToP here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Crossroads. Playing for today, spawning in the north, we have TePeMHaToP playing as Ostheer, immediately going for German Mechanized. And from the south we have Iran playing as Soviets, straight away going for Airborne troops. In terms of rankings here, TePeM around rank 120, Iran around rank 130. So a rare Airborne troops tier 1 start here. Haven't seen this for a very long time. Pretty much since the commander came out, I don't think I've seen too much of this. But PPSH penals inside an M3 can be very strong in the early phases, maybe better off against OKW than against Ostheer though.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
TePeM waiting for Iran to push in here. Got some pretty decent cover positions up at the moment. Kenel's getting off to a strong start on this flank. Iran a little bit slow capping up the fuel. Making a cut-off play. Plenty of time there for TePeM to jump in with this squad. Doesn't manage to do so, so going to lose control of his cut-off there. But yeah, it can be a little bit slower going for these tier 1 starts with no second combat engineer. To slow down your early territory control a bit, but you do get those penals out faster. Especially your second penal. And that can lead to some strong fights in the early phases. So far though, the machine gun just camped out on the fuel, locking that down. And the penals on the flank just capping up as well. Poe's making the cross. And across the road, and then the penal didn't periodically jump back inside the building just to check that nothing was crossing the road. He's going to throw a satchel in there. Take out the building. I suppose Iran, he's not going to really make a huge amount of use of this building since he doesn't have a machine gun himself.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
So, fair enough. If you're planning to get your own machine gun, maybe you don't want to blow up that building, but in this case I think it's a decent idea. And now TePeM with a 4 grenadier start here, getting quite aggressive. Iran going to go for a 4 penal start. Definitely his start has been a little bit weaker than maybe it should have been to this point, Iran, but let's see if the 4th penal can make up for it, because TePeM went for a 4th grenadier, can't go for a 2nd machine gun, which is typically the best answer to 4 penals. Personally though, I think I'd be going for a sniper if I was Iran in this kind of situation, but comes with its own risks. You do have to upgrade your penals, maybe even 2 of them with PTRSs if you're doing that as well. Looks like TePeM trying to go for a fast 250. It's not going to be that fast though. By the time it hits the field, it's going to be close to 6 minutes. It's getting confused there. We cancelled the tier 2 tech, rebuilding it. So yeah, maybe not the best. I think if you're going to try rush at 250, it has to be with a 3 green build, or maybe with the double PI, double MG start. Like I've demonstrated with the German Infantry commander, which also has the ability to build the 250. And even then, I don't think the 250 is very good against Soviets, just in general. Like, PTRS penals shut it down really easily. Conscripts can take anti-tank grenades quite early on. So, even at an early timing with the 250, it's just not that effective against Soviets, I feel. You see both players are at 2 command points at the moment as well, so easily can field guards or a Dishka to help deal with it. So, I think it's more of a better option against US forces and Brits who can't field anti-tank as easily at that timing. We'll see how he gets on with it. We've got 2 LMG Grenadiers. Guess he's going to put one of them inside it. Didn't fully reinforce that though, which is unfortunate. Going to be one model down in the firing position. And because he came forwards and did some damage before he put a squad inside it, gave it around plenty of time to upgrade some PTRSs here. A good volley off and then try and chase down, try and get another volley off. Not quite able to. TePeM able to get out of there before the second volley came through. That's how you want to do it, you know, get a volley off. Now that the aim time on the PTRSs is so short, you can kind of just do that. You can pop off a round and then very quickly start chasing after it while the PTRSs are reloading. I think that's, you know, another part of the equation why
The enemy has broken our supply lines.
it's not so good these days. Because, you know, with the PTRS aim time buff a while back, I feel like PTRS is maybe slightly overperforming at the moment. Doesn't get talked about much though. Good cut-off play here by TePeM. He's getting his machine gun involved now, bringing it in. Getting some suppression now, going for the fuel point capture. PTRS is causing 2 squads to scatter there. Doesn't manage to drop any models from them though, so got a bunker out the back. Doesn't have the medics upgraded on it yet, but probably would pay to just wait with that squad in base, wait for the healing, try to save the manpower. Iran desperate to try and complete the capture here, and there he goes. PTRS coming out, but already pulling back. A lot of upgrades. No sweeper on the Pyos though, it's just a little bit risky. And T7 in production now for Iran. Pack from TePeM. You know, roughly as early as he could afford to build it, given his manpower expenditure to this point. So it's fair enough, but if Iran was trying to rush a quad, could have found himself in some major trouble in this one. Yeah, I have played quite a bit with 4 penal builds in the past. Typically, they're just not that effective. Can be okay on certain maps where you can get them into close quarters a bit better. Oh, good bit of body blocking here by Iran. Looking for the machine gun decrew, stalling for the T-70 to come across. Faust got cancelled somehow. We saw it. It was queued up there on the Grenadiers, but somehow didn't go through the pack. Connecting once. Suppression from the base MGs though, going to stop the steal on that. T-70 pulling back. Grenadiers hoping to recover the lost LMG. And they get home alive though. The penals just tearing them to shreds. Huge losses there for TePeM. Going back in with the 250. Getting forced away just as quickly by the penals. So yeah, overall I feel like we've seen why the 250 not the best against Soviets in this game specifically. Just hasn't done very much damage. Now that there's a T-70 on the field as well, it can't fight back against that at all, unlike the 222, which at least can, you know, do some damage. Maybe threaten to do enough when combined with 2 pack shots to kill the T-70. 250 can't do any of that. And because he got it, you know, at the 6-ish minute mark hitting the field, which if you're going for like a 3 Gren build, you can get a 222 out at that timing. It just didn't work out. But this is really like a shock unit. You need to get it out maybe like 4 minutes 30-ish. If you want to have any success with it. But yeah, it's just been so handily countered by even just one PTRS penal. You know, since they got the triple PTRSs now, just one volley and it gets forced off for repairs for such a long period of time. But, you know, TePeM able to rebuild reasonably effectively, recruits the machine gun, rebuilds the grenadier. Faust's going to connect. Got the pack back there, a little bit slow setting up, connects with one shot. Do they have the option of going for like an attack round? So he's going to try to close the distance here. Grenadier's coming in from the side. Oh, this could be money with the attack rounds setting up.
We are losing a sector.
Oh, but a miss. Got maybe one more chance. No, not going to go for it. MG, though, doing a good job of locking Iran off this fuel point. Now he's even pushing in with it.
The HQ has been upgraded.
He's just getting in close there.
Artillery is now available.
Oh boy, PTRS is coming in from the side. 250 driving forwards, trying to dodge the sticky satchel. And does manage to get away. That was a close call.
The sector is at risk.
Oh wow, another penal. Gone for it late. I'm guessing it's going to be another PTRS. All his troops probably box selected everything that was retreated here and then right click for the repairs. Do not have crew repairs with this commander. Do have crew repairs, or not crew repairs, conscript repairs, but get what's called now. Conscript repair kits, but they're now available to penals as well. I've tried them out a little bit myself, but generally you don't want to be tying up a 290 manpower unit repairing your T-70. Your combat engineers not too far off half the cost of that. So even though you can do it, I think it's quite bad. Better off just building another combat engineer ideally. Only to be used in like desperate situations. Especially these days, you know, like maybe I think conscript repairs made a bit more sense before the sweepers gave a repair speed boost as Soviets, but now that they do that, kind of widens the gap, makes those abilities much less relevant than they used to be. And of course, you know, these units don't get any repair speed boosts with VET, so kind of only gets worse as the game goes on. Dropping in a Dishkin now. Su-76 out for Iran, which coming at a pretty good timing. Did decide to go for another PPSH penal though, rather than another PTRS, which is quite risky. If it gets forced to retreat by like a machine gun suppressing it, then you're all of a sudden in massive trouble. Overextension here from TePeM though, and loses his pack. Loses maybe a machine gun as well. PPSH penal's hitting hard there. And he steals both of those weapons just before the Panzer IV arrives.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, I didn't notice. Penal goes down on the far flank. Maybe Iran also not noticing that. So he gets one back. Now the Panzer IV driving in. For the T-70 kill. There's a little bit of road there though. T-70 gets that speed boost. Su-76 is back there. Oh wow, really, really good attack ground work there from TePeM. Takes it down. Panzer IV though coming around the corner. Could go down now. Su-76 snipes it off at close to max range there. Wow. It was looking like TePeM was going to get away with it there. He just, you know, he got the really nice kill on the T-70 and then he drove around the corner. Got blasted by the PTRS penal and the Su-76 a couple of times. Opened himself out to that death. Here we go. Pack decrewed over here. Dishka and MG though, gotta shut this down. Rebuild on an extra pyro coming through from TePeM. He's going for a mortar now.
Our territory is falling into
He's up
enemy
against double
hands.
machine gun, so I suppose the mortar makes some sense.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
The question is, what does Iran do next? Is it a second Su-76 to try and boost up his anti-tank? Probably doesn't need it now that he's got the pack still available to him. I'm guessing, okay, yep, gonna be a tick up. Still quite a lot of fuel away from a vehicle. Remember, he did lose control of his fuel point for a very, very long time throughout this match. So you can kind of feel that impact, even after going for the double lights. Su-76, oh boy. A little bit of body blocking, but that's 3 vetted PTRS penals. Oh boy, that is such a close call. But it gets away. Just need a tiny bit more body blocking, that was that. Reload on the Panzer IV. 250 in here doing its best as well. Ooh, big hit from the P4. Su-76 getting involved with the pack quite far back. P4 though, playing it safe, backing away. Doesn't want to get surprised by a pack a little bit further back, and there goes the 250. Took down 3 pyros in the death crit as well, bit of bad luck for TePeM. Okay, another grenadier. Definitely needs to... Oh, did he cancel the mortar? Guess he did late on. I think it might even be worth considering building a sniper here if you're TePeM. If you feel like you can micro it well enough, you know, you're up against double machine guns. Penal's pretty expensive to reinforce, even with the enforcement cost reduction of tier 4. Gives you some extra sight as well. I think it's a perfectly reasonable decision to make at this stage. But so far TePeM hasn't shown like really good awareness of protecting his flanks, stuff like that. You know, the overextension over here, Grenadiers over here nearly going to like a triple PPSH penal blob. Seems to be maybe lacking a little bit of awareness. Would allow the sniper to be effective. He charged through center with his entire Gren blob, hoping for a Dishka frontal decroot. That gets the suppression in, and now is this barrage coming in from Su-76. Oh boy, what is this anti-tank gun positioning from Iran? Panzer IV driving forwards, the Pyo's going to try to keep the pressure on, Panzer IV missing. But the anti-tank gun gets decrewed. PTRS penal coming down now for the Panzer IV. The machine gun spins around. P4 firing on the move here. Missing these shots on the disc. He's trying to go for the kill on the pack. Here come the PTRSs though. Su-76 missing. Managing to avoid the sticky satchel. The Grenadiers coming back in now. Su-76 missing again. LMG's starting to get to work, but now I have to worry about these Pyos on retreat past the EPSH blob.
Supply sector under attack.
I'm trying to play evasively at the moment, I think. I'm worried about their retreat. Ideally, you would not go through the capture circle. Oh boy. P4 driving forwards. Needs one more shot to connect, and he gets it. The Su-76 goes down. That's what I was talking about. Risky. With just one PTRS penal. If he gets forced to retreat, you can find yourself in some big trouble. And Iran having to scatter there. Just get coming in from the side though, and we've got the fresh T-34 connecting the Panzer IV. Going to try drive past this. No, he's backing away with the blitz. Grenadiers all getting suppressed, but one of them is going to get a Faust off here. Just needs a bit of luck. This T-34 shot to bounce, but does not get that luck. I think with the blitz active, with the engine crit, he could have driven away before an extra shot came through from the T-34, but unable to get away in time. Briefly starting up a Stug, but cancelling that. Plenty of manpower for TePeM though. Probably needs to rebuild his pack at this timing. Oh, he's starting up a command tank. No, he's very indecisive.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
He's building another grenadier. That was not what I was expecting. As I was saying, like double machine guns is the counter to penals. And probably even more so for PPSH penals. I know that, you know, they're more devastating if they get the flank off on the machine gun, but they also do so little damage from long range. And they don't have any smokes, unlike most other assault infantry. So they are much more vulnerable to machine gun play. Here we go, going to be a bit of a blob war here. Greens versus PPSHs. Greens on the run. T-34 come around the corner as well. Managing to drop quite a few penal models. Panzer IV about to pop out now. This penal very low. One Grenadier goes down for TePeM, not paying attention over there. Gonna try Faust this down though. Panzer IV arriving. Destroyed that pack, by the way, Iran. So now quite badly unfavoured against this. PTRS squad coming in from the side though. That could save the day. PPSH is focused on the Pios. And they go down. PTRS trying to get in range for the sticky satchel. Unable to do so. The Grenadiers chopping them down fast as well. Got double combat engineers there for the repairs. Only has to repair it up to 3/4 to remove that engine crit. P4 comes through though, gets another penetrating hit. So far the Panzer IV almost unscathed, just taking some PTRS shots now. Doesn't have the machine gun upgrade on that yet though, so oof. Not the best against the PTRS penal. And the engine crit's removed now, the double combat engineers working their magic. And wow, this Panzer IV running really hot against T-34. And the bounces and the penetrations. And the misses as well. T-34 missing a few shots. Were on the move though. Still gifting a lot of it to this Panzer IV already. Just about equal. Oh boy. And here we go. He's got enough for the blitz. But doesn't activate it. Bit of a speed boost down the road. T-34 circling around the corner. Panzer IV gets the speed boost as well. But if he just popped the blitz here, would have been a pretty easy chase down. We've got another T-34 arriving. And it gives up the attack. Quite risky coming through here. This is a very common mine spot. I'm sure there hasn't been a sweeper down there for TePeM. Maybe since like the 6-minute mark. Well, not even, right? His first pyre was a flamer. And he goes down on retreat. It was the PTRS penal as well. T-34s. They're running cold at the moment, aren't they? Not doing too well against the P4. TePeM branching out, capping up the map again.
We have an isolated sector. We are losing territory. Machine gun ready.
So let's see what Iran can do with these double T-34s. Needs to get some major work done before that second Panzer IV arrives. Otherwise, without an anti-tank gun, without a PTRS penal anymore, he's really going to struggle. in the anti-tank department. I know he's got plenty of munitions for these rocket runs, but generally to land them you have to sacrifice a tank with the ram, which is not ideal. P4. Without a care in the world, just driving ahead here. Got one T-34 returning to action, the other one pretty close to it now. The spotting scopes on this, which is quite nice. Extra bit of vision. No machine gun upgrade on it yet though. T-34 driving in here. Gonna take a couple of Faust, but a massive crush. One Grenadier goes down the process. T-34 trying to back away now. So is the Panzer IV. P4 can penetrate one more shot, maybe with double Fausts. He could actually kill this off here. But not going to happen. Not often you see such a good crush once the engine grip was applied, right? It's kind of as the T-34 was slowing down and managed to crush that Grenadier real good. P4 does have the skirts now. Looks like it's repaired up. Roughly half health. Would it die to 2 hits or not? That's the big question. TePeM floating a bit. Maybe he needs to start production on his next Panzer IV. He's been floating a lot of manpower this entire time as well. Rebuild on the Grenadier. Definitely would recommend a pack. And he's going to need it even more once that Su-85 arrives. Before coming forwards, but 2-on-1 there. Around though, getting cold feet. Doesn't want to chase in and risk his T-34 before his Su-85 arrives. He knows he's going to have a strong counter to that shortly. Just a little bit of extra vet. Very close to vet 3 on that T-34 now.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Go for some crush action there. Catches one of the Grenadiers. There's a little bit of road there which helps things out as well for the crushing. Manages to complete the capture, but it was a little bit on the risky side. Now, all Grenadier over here forgotten about. Late retreats. PSH penals though dropping fast the double Grenadiers. Has to give up the chase. T-34s now though in hot pursuit of all these Grenadiers. We've got the fresh Panzer IV arriving. Connecting once. The Panzer IV coming out from base. Faust connecting. One shot now on the Panzer IV. Very risky. T-34 coming in, maybe going to go for the ram. Oh wow, he snipes it off there long range. Blocking with the other T-34. The vet one needs to come through. No, he's got the Su-85 arriving now. Oh, bounce. And miss from the Su-85. Panzer IV surviving. He's got this little channel to make it back to his base width as well. Went for triple pies, by the way. At least he did spin through his manpower. But man, could you imagine how much easier that would have been for TePeM if he had a pack during that? Instead of Pyro? He probably could have polished Orion off right there. Instead, in some trouble. Gonna try and go for mass Fausts, but he should save his munitions. He doesn't have enough munis to kill this with chain Fausts. So in that case, not much more point Fausting it down here and denying yourself opportunities for future Fausts or future rifle nades. Not a huge amount to spend your munis on this commander, but could also be using the emergency repairs, I suppose. Does lessen the need for Pios. With this commander, you almost never go for triple Pio. We did see Loveness use this commander maybe once or twice during the recent Master League tournaments. So it is viable at the top level for sure. If you can milk that spotting scope, it can be very strong.
T-34 ready
Just
for
going to
combat.
struggle here against a blob this large. 5v1. Did its best though, suppressing most of them. Same story here. Bad news for PPSH milk. So even when, you know, there's 3 of them suppressed,
Enemy forces are
it's
attempting
maybe,
to
you know,
capture
theoretically like quartering their DPS. So adds up to roughly the DPS of 1 unit. One with 2 unsuppressed, so close to 3 squads focusing them down. We're getting cold feet here. Side skirts though working nicely for him. The boosted armor bouncing that shot from the SU-85. Not really a chance they're happening, right? I think the SU-85 220 penetration long range at this stage of vet versus 234 armor, so bit of good fortune there for TePeM. You can see the impact of him spamming the Faust as well. Didn't have enough munitions to blitz at that timing. I think he had like 19 munis. So don't just recklessly spin your munitions like that. Can backfire. Got a Stug out now though, so it's going to help him in the anti-tank department. Still desperately needs a pack, but been able to save up the manpower. Iran, amongst all this, did fall very far behind on the VPs. So in spite of him being in a very good position in terms of his army, still far, far behind on the victory points.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
SH is charging ahead there. The dish getting some nice suppression going. T-34 circling around here. He's got 3 T-34s now around. He's got so much munitions as well. Late on the Faust here to TePeM. He's dropping in the planes. Coming in from the side. Oh, and there goes the Stug. Took a lot of damage from those planes. With that, I think TePeM's hopes have now been erased. Don't think he can make a comeback from this after losing that Stug. Machine gun eventually forcing away the Pyos over here. SU-85 chasing away the Panzer IV. But yeah, seems like TePeM uncomfortable with kind of splitting his troops up. I know that it can be risky sometimes if you're up against blobs. But they can kind of focus you down more easily. Okay, P4 return to action, not fully repaired. Having not the best time against the SU-85 though. Missing all of its shots or bouncing one of them. There we go, the mass T-34 is just ripping into the Grenadiers. And when you're this far behind, it can be hard to save up enough manpower to really make a comeback. The T-34 is coming into the base here. Some pathing issues, bit of a traffic jam from the T-34s, but able to get out safely. TePeM is no closer in terms of manpower to another unit to support. Just about enough fuel for a Stug again, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to save the manpower fighting like this. And again, showing the reason why you really need an anti-tank gun. But you know, you've seen me do a lot of no anti-tank gun challenges, I suppose, over the last few months. Can respect somebody trying to go for a no anti-tank gun style. armor holding up well. He's got the speed boost. The S-385 might not be able to keep up. Come around the corner.
Supply sector under
Can't
attack.
attack ground through here. And yeah, TePeM really showing the weaknesses in his unit control. Just
We have a new
putting the whole
T-34
blob onto that
standing
one
by.
point. Trying to slow down the VP drain. Really hit by around 80 points now. And the T-34 spam is really ramped up. It's pretty much at his pop cap limit now. Iran Stuck in production for TePeM. T-34 trying to go for some crushing, but takes a lot of Fausts. There's a 4 on the other side though. Not able to capitalize. So it's the S-385 though that's switching over now. The Rhino could just be like an easy ram here, would do the trick. But there we go, TePeM going to throw in the towel after getting flanked by the T-34 like that. GG. Well, anyway guys, a wrap on that. If you like Good Game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next throwing installment. Goodbye and good luck.